Hello everyone, welcome to my to Driven Life with Wanangwa. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to watch this video. And it's my prayer that what I will share today will be a blessing to your lives, and you will learn a few things that you can use in your day to day. And so, without wasting much time, let us just dive right into the content for today. So today I'll be sharing on um, a few things that I would advise a single person right now. What would I tell a single person as counsel right now? So these are some few things that I've learned over the years, and sometimes from my own personal work, and also from counseling people and helping them through their journeys. And I pray that these things will really be of help to you. If you're single, please pay attention. And these things will be helpful. Even if you're in a relationship, these things may also be of help to you, because some of us maybe have gone through the stages, our relational journey, and have skipped certain things that are of vital importance to our journey. So let's just start from there. Number one, the first thing that I would advise a single person right now is know yourself. I think most of the times, as people, we diminish the importance of knowing identity, of knowing certain things about ourselves that are so important. You need to make sure that you have discovered who you are. Who are you as God sees you? And also, you need to discover what are the gifts, what are the things that God has given you. You need to know your patterns. You need to know the things that help you come alive, and the things that sort of kill the fire in your heart. You need to know certain things about yourself, certain things, your capacity, your personality. You need to master yourself. In other words, discover who you are. Be a person who has understood what your identity is, what is unique about you, or what sets you apart. These things have to be known by you. You can't just be a person who walks around hoping someone introduces you to you. You need to be at a place where you've come to understand who you are. And I've seen time and time again people who don't know who they are try to find meaning in the wrong places. I've seen people make decisions that they wouldn't make if they knew who they were as a person, as a child of God, as a person of purpose and destiny. Sometimes we carry ourselves cheaply because we don't know the price that was paid for us. Sometimes we carry ourselves cheaply because we don't know where we're supposed to end up in life as per our destiny. These things have to be revealed to us for us to really understand. It has to dawn on you to say you're not just a person who was created by chance, but you have an identity, and you're a person who has been created for a reason, given intrinsic abilities that have to serve God in this earth and serve His purposes. You need to understand those things about yourself for you to even know how to make decisions, and for you to even know the things that you're supposed to do now, so that you are in line with who you are. When you know yourself, you know what you can accept, and you will know what you have to resist. So identity brings clarity into your life in ways that you will never really comprehend until you actually discover it. It makes a huge difference. So that's the first thing. The second thing is know God. Every single person has to master this about their own life. You need to know your Creator. Be a person who was diligently sought after God. Know what works for you in as far as working with God is concerned. Be a person who has established a rapport with the heavenlies. Be a person who was invested adequately in your walk with God. Know the Father. Be intimate with Him. In your single season, that's a time when you have to work on your intimacy with God. That's the time when you have to work on your relationship with Him. That's the time when you have to get to know Him. That's when you have to learn how to take risk. If you don't know how to believe God for a miracle, those are the times when you begin to pray and rigorously go after God to see the supernatural happening. If you have never read books for you to grow spiritually, those are the times when you build things about yourself. If there are things about God you don't know, go after Him no matter what. Knowing God is so important, because sometimes when you get into a relationship, it's not as easy sometimes to you need to make sure that you're bringing to the table a thriving relationship with God. Otherwise, it will not be as easy for you to progress spiritually if you are not already a person with a strong foundation. That's why relationships thrive on two individuals who have strong walks with God coming together and working together. Sometimes I've seen people who maybe are spiritually, you can see that these people have not worked on themselves at all, and then you discover them trying to make inquiries from God to say, God, I want you to guide me in this, and which is very important. But when it comes to dating issues now, you see them as well not prioritizing this. And I'm like, how will you know the direction you're supposed to take if you're not working on your relationship with God? How do you think you sustain a dating relation? Do you know that a relationship comes with pressure? Do you know that a relationship demands a lot from you? Do you know that in a relationship purity isn't as easy? Do you know all those things? Are you taking time to establish a strong foundation that when things are hard, you can still move on? When emotions are all over the place, you can still remain steady as a person who has a strong relationship with God. You need to work on your relationship with God. And if you are a man and you're listening to me, you really need to do this. You really need to do this. It's very, very important. So that's the second thing. The third thing is you have to work on yourself. So in your singleness, it's so important that you work on yourself. And truth be told, all of us have areas where we need to really diligently put in the plow to the soil and begin to work on ourselves. There are so many deficiencies in our characters, so many deficiencies in our maybe personalities, things that we have accepted as personalities, but there are things that we have to work on and make sure that we improve on. It's so important because you don't want to go with too much baggage into a dating relationship. The less baggage you have, the less issues you have, the better. It gives you chances of having a thriving and enjoyable relationship. You don't want your relationship to be like a clinic, a place where you're simply having to deal with issues all over the place, or maybe trying to deal with things, misunderstandings that rise from fundamental deficiencies in your life. You're dealing with misunderstanding because one of you is having so much baggage that they have carried over into the relationship, and now instead of you simply having the maturity and the posture of understanding, you can't really comprehend because issues are all over the place. I hope this is making sense to you. I really want you to understand, the less baggage you go with into a relationship, the better. It's so important. It gives you chances of having a successful relationship journey. I would really, really recommend this to a single person. Work on yourself. If you have anger issues, work on them. If you're struggling with so many insecurities, make sure you work on them. Work on your self-esteem. Work on your self-perception. Allow God to reveal who you are to you. And when you work on yourself like that, it will help. If you have a bad attitude, if you have you're not consistent and steady emotionally, to begin to work on these things because they help you in the long run. It gives you a chance to succeed at a relationship. So work on yourself. That's the third thing, I believe. Yeah, and the fourth thing is discover your purpose. Okay, in your singleness, you need to know direction that your life is supposed to take. You can't be a person who is randomized. You can't just live life anyhow, just living anyhow. You know, in the design of God, when you read the Bible, relationships, even marriages, were supposed to be built around purpose. Most of the times nowadays, we see it in so many places where people are building their marriages around ambition. You know, that's fine and good. It looks good sometimes and all that. But The design of God is that two individuals, male and female, discover what God has called them to do, that their niche in life, their direction in life according to God, and then they begin to build around that and they work together to fulfill that. Okay, ambition may be part of it, whatever it is, but the fundamental thing is that purpose is the priority. So if you don't know purpose, it's really important that you discover that. Just have a clue. You may not know everything, and you don't have to really in your early stages, but you just need to have an idea to say, this is where I am headed in life. When you know these things, it will also help you in choosing a partner, because you will know who you're supposed to team up with. I remember I was ministering somewhere recently, and I told them a scenario of saying that some people actually know that they have the call of God on their lives to step into ministry. I've heard of ladies who know they are called into ministry, but you find that the people that they are dating, the direction that their life is taking is contrary to that. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? We can't just be superficial in our decision making. Purpose has to be priority. Where are you going in life? So as a single person, these things have to be determined. Make sure you discover and get to know these things. Know them. And then they'll bring clarity to your decisions. When you know where you're going, decisions become clear. You know what you have to do, and you know who you have to do it with. You know who you have to do it with. So you really need to know where you're going, your purpose. Why did God create you? Take time to discover this in your singleness. The fifth thing is you have to acquire relational knowledge. I can't emphasize this enough. As a single person, learn as much as you can. Okay, these things, it's not a miracle that people have good relationships. It's not a miracle. It's actually a product of investment, a product of learning. People do what they have learned. What if you gave yourself to deliberate learning, acquire the right type of knowledge, and see yourself flourish? So you have to really be diligent with this. You can't just be a person who says, what I know is what I know. I'll stay with it. No. You need to learn. You need to grow. You need to acquire the right type of knowledge. And make sure you're a person who does not tire, but you are a student for life. It's so, so important. It's so, so important. And my last point is be single. You have to embrace the stage. It's so important. You have to embrace the stage. Singleness is not a problem waiting to be solved. It's a stage of life. It says everything, to everything there's a time and a season. It says everything is beautiful in its right time. You need to understand that there are seasons of life. And singleness has to be treated as such. If you don't, you actually rush through your singleness and find that the things that you could have resolved in your singleness, you are having to try to catch up in your dating phase. You don't have to get into your dating phase having a shallow relationship with God and then having to catch up in your relationship. No, work on yourself now. Be single and embrace the stage. Understand that it's a phase, and God has provided grace for you to begin to flourish where you are. So embrace the stage. Be single. It's one thing to be single because you don't have someone by your side, but you also have to be single-minded. In your mind, you have to be single. In the way you handle things, you have to be single. This is the time when you have to really embrace where you are. I'm not trying to say that you don't think about the possibility of getting into a relationship. No. What I'm trying to say is don't rush through it. Don't rush through it. Don't allow the pressure of what other people are doing to cause you to rush through the processes in your life. Allow God to work with you where you are and embrace the stage where you are. So the last word that I can give you right now is that you need to prepare. You need to really prepare. And all these things are simply part of preparation for the dating phase. Prepare yourself for this. Learn as much as you can. And make sure you're ready. Make sure you're thinking about it, praying about it. And then when God says it's time, you will know, and you have to move and act like a single person. That means you have to move and step into the next phase. So it's my prayer that this has been helpful for you and to you. So take it and use it. It has been tried and tested. Yeah, give me feedback, comment, and like, and then let me know what you think about this. If it has helped you in any way, let me know as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and it's my prayer that God empowers you as a single person to flourish in your relational journey. Thank you so much. Until next time, see ya.